Hello students, welcome to science class. Today we are going to deal with the topic of physics, that is Newton's second law. Do you know who gave this law or who proposed this law? It was given by Sir Isaac Newton. Before entering into today's topic, let me revise what we have discussed previously regarding Newton's laws of motion. So in the previous session, we discussed Newton's first law of motion, which is also called as law of inertia. So what is Newton's first law of motion? Do you remember? So an object at rest stays at rest, or an object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon by an unbalanced force or else external force. Okay, so a body which is at rest will always be at rest. A body which is in motion will always be in motion. So it is going to change its state only on application of an external force. Without the application of external force, the body is not going to change its state, and this Newton's first law is also called as law of inertia, which we have discussed in the previous session. Along with these things, we also have discussed different types of inertias, that is inertia of motion, inertia of rest, inertia of direction. So let's go into today's topic. So do you remember what we are going to discuss today? We are going to discuss Newton's second law of motion. So what is Newton's second law of motion? Define. So Newton's second law of motion defines, look at the picture. From the picture, you can define Newton's second law of motion. So what is going to happen in the picture? You are able to see a picture of one person in two cases. Are you able to follow or not? So you can see one person is going to act in two cases. Look at the first case. Look at this figure. So smile on his face says that he is able to move that object with less force. So what is the mass of that particular object? On the screen it is given as 40 kgs. So happily he is applying force on this 40 kg object, and he is able to roll it, or he is able to move it. Is it or not? The same person in the second case is feeling unhappy, that is he is facing some problem. Looking at his face, we can guess that he is facing some problem. Why? Because of a heavy mass. What is the magnitude of this mass? 400 kg. So he is applying more force, but he is unable to move this 400 kg mass. Understood or not? So observe this figure and tell me the definition of Newton's second law of motion. Once again I will explain this picture. One person is going to move a mass of 40 kg. He is able to move a mass of 40 kg with some force. So what are the terms I told you now? Physical terms which are related to physics: force, mass and move. Move in the sense motion. So I am going to change this term motion into accelerate. So let me explain the first case. So in the first case, he is able to move a mass of 40 kg. He is able to accelerate a mass of 40 kg on applying some force. Mass, acceleration and force. In the second case, he is unable to accelerate a mass of 400 kg on application of same amount of force. So from this, I can give you the definition of Newton's second law of motion as: a body can be accelerated, which depends upon, or the acceleration of a body depends upon the mass of that particular body and the force with which you are going to accelerate that body. So let's see what is the definition of Newton's second law of motion. See, the acceleration of an object as produced by a net force is directly proportional to the magnitude of the net force in the same direction as the net force and inversely proportional to the mass of the object. Getting confused? So slowly I will read the definition once again. The acceleration. Here I am going to denote acceleration with a letter small a. The acceleration of an object produced by a net force, so force is denoted with letter F, is directly proportional to the magnitude of the force. Okay, so magnitude of the force means how much force you are going to apply in the same direction as the net force and inversely proportional to the mass of the object. And verbally the equation is given as A equal to F by M. A equal to F by M. Don't worry, I am going to explain this thing with the neat and clear and easy examples. Here we have three terms: acceleration. That means if you take a heavy sized object, if you want to make it move faster, then what you have to do? You have to apply more force. That's why the relation there given as A is directly proportional to force. If you want to accelerate that body, move that body with a high speed, then what you have to do? You have to apply more force. In the same way, if you want to accelerate a body at more high speed, then definitely that mass should be of a low mass, high, low. So acceleration and mass are inversely proportional, and if you want to accelerate it high, then you have to produce high force. So high, that means acceleration is directly proportional to force. So A equal to F by M. So look at the video, you will still understand better. So here in this video I am going to show you what is Newton's second law of motion. On the screen you are able to see the definition of Newton's second law of motion and a picture where a person is going to roll a heavy weighted object upside. That means he is going to apply some force. So on application of this force, what he want to do? He want to accelerate that barrel upwards. So he is going to apply the force in upward direction. So he need that heavy sized object or barrel to move upwards. So acceleration, if you want a high acceleration, then he need to produce high force. So that is the Newton's second law of motion. Let me explain the definition once again. Look here. So Newton's second law of motion, according to Newton's law of motion, the acceleration of the body is directly proportional to and is in the same direction as the net force. How much force you are going to apply, that much it is going to accelerate, and inversely proportional to the mass. If you want to accelerate it more, if you want to move it more, then its mass should be less. Its mass should be less depending upon your stamina. Don't worry, in further videos you can still better understand. And Newton's second law of motion can also be defined as, in the previous definition I told you the definition related to acceleration, A equal to F by M. Here on the screen I am going to give you the second definition for Newton's second law of motion. So what is that? The greater the mass of the object being accelerated, the greater the amount of force needed to accelerate the object. Okay, so and the equation is given as F equal to ma. So how much force you need to apply on an object to accelerate fast means it is depends upon the mass of that particular object. That is, force is directly proportional to mass, and it is also directly proportional to the acceleration. So F is directly proportional to mass and F is directly proportional to acceleration. So this is the second equation. Now let's enter into this solving or understanding of these two equations through the further videos. So look at this video. So it was given by Newton's second law is given by Sir Isaac Newton. So what is meant by Newton's second law? Before learning about Newton's second law, you need to know about three terms, as I told you, that is a mass, acceleration and force. So here Newton's second law is related to acceleration. whatever the video I am going to show, that is related to acceleration. Acceleration is the rate of change in velocity of the object. Acceleration is defined as the rate of change of velocity of the object. Don't worry, I am going to explain what is meant by acceleration, what is meant by mass, what is meant by force. Three terms I will be explaining, and related to these three terms we have the Newton's second law with three equations. So I will be explaining them. Look at the video. So what is meant by acceleration? So as we learned that Newton's second law, the greater the mass of an object, the more force it will take to accelerate the object. I told you that mass is directly proportional to force. If you want to apply more force for a more mass, then the object is going to accelerate fast. And the equation of Newton's second law is F equal to ma, where F is the force which is having Newton as the unit, m is the mass which is having kilogram as the unit, and a is the acceleration which is having meters per second square. So let's understand with some examples regarding Newton's second law. So we have another definition for Newton's second law, that is how fast you need to accelerate a body, then you need to apply that much force. Here observe this video. Previously the boy on the screen is going to kick a ball. So how fast or how much force he is going to apply on the ball, with that much force it is going to move or it is going to accelerate. So for this Newton's second law, for better understanding, we have many examples, daily examples, so you can easily understand them. So how much force you are going to apply, depending upon that the body is going to accelerate. On the screen you are able to see two persons. So one person is standing on a skateboard. Look at the video. So the second person is going to push him with a less force. So what happens if he push him with a less force? Just he is pushing with less force. So what has happened? He just moved. That means he just accelerated to certain distance. So less force means acceleration is less. If he applies more force, so what is going to happen? Acceleration will definitely be more, because force is directly proportional to acceleration. So if you are going to apply more force, the person is going to accelerate more. That means with high speed he is going to accelerate. Let's go with the next example. See on the screen, a car has stopped. Generally we will be facing this problem. When a car or a bus or a lorry, when it's got stopped, usually what will be going to happen? Some group of people will be pushing that vehicle. Is it or not? See, observe that only one person is going to push that car. Is he able to accelerate that car? Yes, he is able to accelerate, but to certain distance. So if he is going to increase his force by increasing the number of person, then the car has accelerated faster than before. Understood or not? That means force is directly proportional to acceleration. F is directly proportional to acceleration. Here in the first case, that is if he want to move only one person, then he has applied, that means mass is one person's mass. Look here in this case one person mass is added, so he has applied less force. So he accelerated to certain distance. Now he applied more force on one person, but in this case he want to accelerate a person along with his car. So mass has increased, so he also increased his force. So you can give the equation as F equal to ma. That is, F is directly proportional to mass and F is directly proportional to acceleration. So if you want to increase, if you have increased mass, then you have to increase force. If you want to accelerate more, then you have to increase force. So F is directly proportional to the mass of that particular object and F is directly proportional to acceleration of that particular object. Now look at the next example. Here you can see a girl swinging on a swing. Okay. So he has applied less force on the girl. So what has happened? She is able to move to a smaller distance. If he is going to apply more force, so what has happened? The acceleration also has got increased. That is, force is directly proportional to acceleration. So in order to get more acceleration, you need to apply higher force. So that you can say that Newton's second law, that is F is directly proportional to mass into acceleration, or F is directly proportional to mass of that particular object and F is directly proportional to acceleration of that particular object. So I told you that we have three terms in Newton's second law, that is mass of a particular object and acceleration of that particular object and the force with which the object is going to be applied, or applied force on which the object, so on which we are going to apply on that particular object. So let me explain each and every term. What are those three terms? Mass, force and acceleration. Do you remember what is in by mass? In many classes I told you previously and also in the offline classes. So mass is the matter present inside an object. Mass is the matter present inside an object. Let me explain about mass clearly in this video. So what we have discussed regarding mass, mass is the amount of matter in an object. So let me explain through this video. So let us discuss about mass clearly in this video. In our general life we are going to use the unit of mass for weight. So generally people will be assuming that mass is equal to weight, but we know that mass is not at all equal to weight according to our science. So what does a mass of 5 kg means? That means it consists of 5 kg particles on it and it is going to have 5 newtons of weight acting on it, 5 newtons of force acting on it. Suppose if you take a person who is going to weigh 75 kgs, then you can give a statement that he is going to weigh 75 kilograms. So underline the word weight, so and kilograms. So what is the relation between weight and kilograms? But we know that mass unit is kilogram and weight unit is newtons, but we have used for weight kilograms. That is wrong. Mass is the matter present inside an object and the unit for mass is kilogram, and weight is the gravitational force acting on that particular object that is produced by the earth. So here if we think about mass, mass is the matter present inside the object. If you take the example of gold, whatever the gold particle present inside that particular object, that is completely called as the mass. Then what is meant by weight? It is the gravitational force and the unit for force is Newton. So as we know that what is meant by gravitational force, that is going to pull all the objects towards its center. So its weight is going to be changed from one planet to another planet or one place to another place depending upon its gravity. So we will go through this concept regarding with some examples. So assume one person on the earth and the same person is going to be on the moon. As we know that moon is consisting of less gravitational force, so a person with 75 kg on earth is going to weigh 12.45 kg on the moon. We know that a moon is going to have 1/6 of the gravitational force which is on the earth. So on the earth a person is going to be 75 kg of weight, then he is going to be 12.45 kgs on the moon. What does it means? His mass has got reduced there? No, only the gravitational force is less there. That means the force acting on his body due to gravity is less there. So finally you can give a statement that force that is done on a mass, that is a gravitational force done on a mass, does not change how much the mass is. Force that is done on a mass, how much force you are going to apply on one particular mass, it does not change how much the mass is. So for one particular mass you need to apply 1 unit of force. This is not going to be changed, but if you depend upon weight, then definitely it will be changed. So don't worry, we have a video of an example related this Newton's second law which has taken place in the space. So how the Newton's second law is going to be applicable in space, I am going to show you through a video, another video. Before that, I told you that we are going to discuss those 3 physical terms. We have discussed about mass. Now we are going to discuss about acceleration. Look here, what is the definition of acceleration? Acceleration acceleration is the rate of change of velocity in a specific direction. Acceleration is the rate of change of velocity in a specific direction. So as here we are going to mention the direction, specific direction. It is a vector quantity which is having both magnitude and direction. So what is the definition of acceleration? Acceleration is the rate of change of a velocity. If there is a change in velocity, then that is said to be as acceleration. So if you want to understand it clearly, we will go through this video. Don't worry, this video will give you a clear idea about acceleration. Okay, before going through this video of acceleration, so I got an idea regarding this acceleration. Best example, you can take the example for acceleration, a train starting from a station. How does a train starts from a station? So at a speed of 160 kilometers per hour? No, it is going to start from rest. That is, its speed is not at all there. Its speed goes on increasing right from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Its speed goes on increasing gradually. Is it or not? So you can take this example as a example for a acceleration. So see here, I am going to play this video for acceleration. So have you felt a jerk when you are going to start a car at high speed? Look at this video. Assume that you are in rest. When the car suddenly starts, you will be pushed back. Have you faced this situation? Yes, because from rest the car has moved fastly. So there is a change in your position. When you are going to have a curve, definitely you are going to move to the other side where the curve is going to take place. Then you can say that there exists acceleration, not only in cars, in your bike, in vehicles, whatever it is. So what does acceleration means? If there is a change in velocity, then definitely acceleration exists. In all these examples, where is the change in velocity? Yes, in the first case I told you that the car is at rest and you have just started a car from rest to certain speed, then definitely there is a change in velocity. From 0 to its speed has got increased. In the same way, in the second example, that is a car is going to take a curve. So when the car is going to take a curve, so what is going to happen here? You are going to move to the other side of the car. So if the car is going to take a curve in the rightward direction, then you are going to move to the left side. So here also we have change in velocity because the direction is changing. So in the same way, remaining vehicles also you can feel if there is a change in velocity, then definitely there is a acceleration which is going to be existed there. Let me explain this thing with two examples. Assume if you are going to travel in a car at a constant speed of 80 km per hour, or assume with another example, if you are going to travel in an aeroplane which is traveling at 1000 km per hour. So in these two cases, where is acceleration involved? So a car traveling at 80 km per hour or 1000 km per hour aeroplane. So in both the cases, acceleration is not at all involved because there is no change in velocity. As we discussed, acceleration is the change in velocity and not high speed. So acceleration exists if there is change in velocity. So what does velocity means? It is a speed in a particular direction. So as we have direction here, so velocity is a vector quantity. Assume a body is traveling from one point to the another point. It has traveled 5 seconds and it has covered 20 kilometers of distance. Is acceleration present there? Yes, there is acceleration because there is a change in velocity. Initially it was at 0 kilometers per hour and finally it has reached 20 kilometers per hour in 5 seconds. So there we have, in this case, we have the change in velocity, that is 0 kilometers per hour to 20 kilometers per hour. Speed has changed, that is 0 kilometers per hour to 20 kilometers per hour. If there is a change in the speed, then we can call it as there is a change in velocity. As we know that velocity is the speed in a particular direction. Velocity is the speed in a particular direction. Speed in a particular direction. So look at the next example. So here a body is moving with 30 kilometers per hour. It has taken a curve 30 kilometers per hour. It has again moved in a straight line 30 kilometers per hour. Is the acceleration present in all these three cases? Yes, acceleration is present. Why? Here 30 kilometers per hour, 30 kilometers per hour, 30 kilometers per hour is not changed, but there is a change in direction. Change in direction gives you change in velocity. So for this, definitely you tell me, if you are going to have a curve in your way, is there a decrease in your speed or not? Yes, there is a decrease in the speed. So that is a change in velocity is going to take place if there is a change in direction. Let us continue with this video. So if there is a change in direction, definitely there is a change in velocity. So this gives you the acceleration of that particular object. Then how can you calculate this acceleration? We have a formula, but what is the definition for acceleration? It is the rate of change of velocity. Here if velocity is getting changed, then that is called as acceleration, and the formula is acceleration equal to change in velocity by time taken. So assume a body is moving from initial value, that is u, to final value v in a time span of t seconds. Then the formula can be given as the acceleration a equal to v minus u by t, v minus u by t. So here numerically you can define what is the value of acceleration. Till now we have discussed what is meant by mass, what is meant by acceleration, and we have the third topic or third physical term which is related to our Newton's second law of motion, that is force. We have discussed this word. Simple definition I have given. Here some definition is there. Any action which causes pull, hit or push on a body, it is called as force. So force is used in everyday actions like pushing, pulling, lifting, stretching, twisting and pressing. Force cannot be seen, but it can be judged only by the effect which it produces in various bodies around us. So I am going to give you a simple definition. The pull or push of an object. So if you are going to pull an object or push an object, then this physical term, that is force, is involved. Understood or not? Assume, take the best example, opening the door. So what you are going to do? You are going to pull the door or push the door. So here door is the object. So pulling or pushing is the action involved. So pull or push of an object is called as the force. So for your better understanding, I will go with this video. So watch this video for better understanding of the concept of force. See here. So you want an object to be moved. Then what you will be doing? You will be applying some force. So force can be defined as push or pull of an object. Then only force is going to be existed on that particular object. You can't see this force, but you can feel it. So it cannot be seen, you can only feel it. Some of the examples of forces in our daily life is pushing of a table, pulling of a door. These are some of the examples of forces. So force can change the shape of an object or position of an object. So we also have balanced forces in nature and unbalanced forces in nature. So regarding this balanced and unbalanced force, I told you in the previous session, that is, for a balanced force, the force produced by you on the road and the road on you is a balanced force. Example for unbalanced force, the force produced by you on water and water is going to produce some force on you. They are unbalanced force. So these are the three physical terms which we have in our Newton's second law of motion. Now let's see what is a Newton's second law. In this video, I am going to clearly explain you about Newton's second law, as we have seen what is meant by force, mass and acceleration previously. Okay, look at this example. If you are going to throw a ball up in the sky, what is it going to happen? It due to the applied force it is going to move to the topmost position. How much force we have applied, it is going to move to the topmost position. While it was moving, what are the forces acting on this ball? So one, the applied force what you have used, and the second one is gravitational force. So when it has reached to the topmost position, what is going to happen? It is getting slowed down. Observe this thing. And when it has reached to the topmost position, it has changed its direction and it is falling down with high speed. Three things you have observed, that is the speed has got slowed down, direction is changed, and it has a speed has got increased. So take the another example. When you are going to move a ball having elastic on it with your hand, so its direction is getting changed, is it or not? So it is moving in one direction and it is coming back in the other direction due to the applied force and due to the elastic force. Two forces are acting on that object. So what else could happen to an object when subjected to an unbalanced forces? So three things I told you, that is the speed is getting increased, speed is getting decreased, and the direction is also getting changed. So we'll go with this example. When you are going to run on a floor at high speed, at this time if you want to change your direction, so what is going to happen? If there is less frictional force, definitely you are going to skid and fall down. So take the another example. When you want to push a car with a high speed, if you want to push a car with a high mass, then you need to apply more force when compared with a cycle. Less force is required for a cycle to be moved. When you are going to pedal a bicycle, so you also need to apply some force in pedaling of the bicycle. So if your force is getting increased, the acceleration is also getting increased. So we have discussed force, mass and acceleration. Related to these three things, so what we can give you regarding the Newton's second law of motion, resultant force is equal to mass and acceleration of the body. Resultant force is equal to mass and acceleration of the body, and the units for resultant force is newtons, and mass is kilograms, and the acceleration is meters per second square, and acceleration is meters per second square. Let us calculate taking some examples with this equation. So what is the equation we have? That is F equal to ma. So assume a body in space which is having 7150 kilograms mass. So mass of this object which is in space is 7150 kilograms, which is present in space. So here gravitation force, that is the weight, is not getting varied as I am talking about mass. It is going to accelerate at a speed of 2 meters per second square. So a value is given as 2 meters per second square. So applying the formula F equal to ma, how much force you need to apply to accelerate this body in space at 2 meters per second square acceleration, which is having a mass of 7150 kilograms. So as we know the formula, that is a resultant force equal to mass into acceleration. So resultant force equal to mass, which is given by the magnitude, that is value of 7150 kilograms into acceleration 2 meters per second square. So when you multiply this one, 7150 into 2, 14,300 newtons. We know the units for force is newtons or else kg into meters per second square is simply given as newtons. Kg into meters per second square is simply given as newtons. Let's go with another example. So a car which is of mass 1200 kg, the mass of the car m is given as 1200 kg, which is going to have a force of 3400 newtons in one particular direction. It is going to have a frictional force of 400 newtons in the opposite direction. So how you are going to calculate acceleration? What is the formula? F equal to ma, then a equal to F by m. So here force, we have two forces here. So what are those two forces? One is applied force, that is 3400 newtons. The other one is frictional force, that is 400 newtons. So you need to subtract applied force minus frictional force, then you will be getting the resultant force. We know the mass, we know the force, then how to calculate acceleration? By converting the formula, that is acceleration equal to force by mass, that is 3400 minus 3400, just a minute, 3400 minus 400 into mass is 1200 kgs. If you multiply, you are going to get the acceleration of 2.5 meters per second square. So we'll go with another example. A body of mass 800 grams which is going to have an acceleration of 8.2 meters per second square. Then calculate the resultant force. F equal to ma, mass is 0.8 and the acceleration is 8.2. So finally you are going to have the resultant force 6.56 newtons. 6.56 newtons. Let's go through the another problem. So you have a ball which is having an acceleration of 0.8 meters per second square is the acceleration, and the force applied on the ball is 200 newtons. So here we have acceleration A and force F 200 newtons. Then what we need to calculate? We need to calculate mass. So what is the formula? F equal to ma. So calculating this, we have m equal to F by A. So m equal to F is the 200 newtons, A is 0.8 meters per second square. Substituting and calculating, you are going to get the mass 25 kgs. So after listening all these three problems, so what you can finally give the statement, that is, if mass is higher, if mass on that particular object is higher, it is going to accelerate at a slow speed. If mass is higher, it is going to accelerate at slow speed, or acceleration is smaller. So finally you can give the Newton's second law of motion, that is, force applied on any object is directly proportional to the mass and acceleration of that particular object. Or you also can say that acceleration of a particular object is directly proportional to the force and inversely proportional to the mass. Directly proportional to the force and inversely proportional to the mass. Today we have discussed what is meant by Newton's second law of motion. In that we have all these three terms, that is acceleration, mass and force. So when a problem is asked regarding acceleration, to find acceleration, then you can use this formula, acceleration A equal to F by m. When asked for mass, formula for mass from Newton's second law, m equal to F by A. And the formula for force, when asked for force, so you can have this formula, that is F equal to m into A. So finally in this session we discussed about Newton's second law of motion, that is, a force on any object is dependent upon the mass and acceleration of that particular object, and force is directly proportional to the mass of that particular object and also proportional to the acceleration of a particular object. In the same way, we have the second definition for Newton's second law of motion, that is, acceleration depends upon how big the force is and how heavy the object is. And simply it is given by equation F equal to ma. The unit for force is newtons, mass is kilogram and acceleration is meters per second square. And we also have this figure to give three formulas related to force, mass and acceleration. Looking at this triangle diagram, you can give force equal to ma, or m equal to F by A, or A equal to F by m. So regarding this, every time I will be having hands-on science. That means you can do whatever the topic we have learned in this session on your own. So look at this video. So here I need 2 cans, cool drink cans, and we can see how Newton's second law is applicable. So here I am going to take 2 cans. Look at this video. So one is full with a cool drink, the other is empty can. I am going to place these 2 cans at the same level and I am going to allow them to roll on an inclined plane. When I remove that barrier or that wooden block, so what is going to happen? The cool drink can with the can with the cool drink or soda is going to accelerate faster. Let's see with another example, taking three different masses balls. So, and if you just roll three of them from a same position, the ball or steel ball which is having higher mass is going to accelerate faster. So here you can give the statement that if the mass is higher, acceleration is going to be higher. Depending upon the equation F equal to ma. You also can do this practically with your water bottles, taking empty water bottle and a bottle filled with water. So observe how both of them are acceleration. You will definitely find that the bottle filled with water is going to accelerate faster than the empty bottle. So hope you will do this experiment practically and post it to your group teachers. That's all for today. Today we have seen what is meant by Newton's second law of motion. In Newton's second law of motion, we learned the three different terms, that is mass, force and acceleration, and different equations, three different equations, how to find the value of force and how to find the value of mass and how to find the value of acceleration. And we also have seen Newton's second law, relation with the mass and force and acceleration one to the other. See you in the next session. Thank you.